Alrighty, howdy hey, howdy ho. Hi y'all. Welcome to the Human Flavor channel and the roll and write game City Dominance for my Human Flavor Supernatural Lit RPG books and games. I'm Layman Kingsford. I'm the author and game designer of all things Human Flavor. And you guys are here to play a game and help contribute to the ongoing weekly competition between the 6 supernatural clans in Bigbad City. Your results from each of these roll and write games will contribute to the ongoing push and pull of which clan is in control of the city. If you are not familiar with a roll and write game, well, what that is this is a game where there are dice that roll, and then you're going to write those results somewhere on a sheet. If you're familiar with the classic roll and write game Yahtzee, that might sound similar or familiar to you. Otherwise, this day and age, there are tons of fabulous roll and write games out there, and this is just one of them. This scales infinitely, so any number of players can play, and your results actually have the opportunity to count for something other than your own adjudication. All you need to play this game is a printout of one of these player sheets that has all 6 clans listed on it. You will find the 6 variations of that on my website at humanflavor.com. Download them, print one out. Doesn't matter which one you're playing with, because they all work exactly the same. It's just the arrangement of which colors, which clans are in which locations changes on each of those 6 sheets. How this game works is we're going to play 6 entire rounds of this game, and during each round there will be multiple phases where all 5 dice are going to be rolled, and we're going to be drawing these big chunky meeples from out of this bag and assigning them to each of the dice rolls. If you are not familiar with multi-sided dice, with polyhedral dice, say from Dungeons and Dragons, if you are, these will be very familiar to you. There is the standard D6 die. It's got 6 sides on it. There is a 10-sided die where when it rolls a 0, that's a 10, not a 0. Something to be aware of. There's an 8-sided die. It's got 8 sides. 12-sided. It's got 12. And then there's a D4. This is a slightly different shape than some of you might be familiar with, but it shows up more easily from a top-down camera. And plus, these are super cool. They're like silicone, and so they roll all nice and soft, and they're a little squishy. They're fun to touch, which you don't get to experience on the other side of this, but at least I do. So anyway, this game is also playable. The full player pack and rules is again available on humanflavor.com, which will include printout of this sheet. So the only thing you'd need are the printouts and a set of polyhedral dice, D4, D6, D8, D10, and D12. And there are cards that replace these meeples. You can, of course, order the meeples from us if you want to have a nice chunky tactile thing, but the print and play version has cards that serve the same purpose as these. Oh, and the other thing you'll need is a little marker to mark the rounds. So how this game works is every round, every time we roll all 5 dice, we're going to draw from the bag a meeple from the 6 clans to assign to each die. So here we're starting off with the D4 has got one of the shape-shifting ferals. The D6 is being assigned to the Blue Mystic clan. The D8 is being assigned to the Gray Undead clan. Oh, the D10 is being assigned to the Green Feyfolk clan. And the D12 this round is being assigned to the Yellow Celestial Angel clan. The one we don't have right now, because not everything will be represented every round. Of course, not getting one in the back. Ah, there we go. What you're not seeing currently are the red infernals, but they will come out. So this bag will slowly get emptied because we're going to draw 5 every round. So sometimes there'll be multiples of the same color out, but we will cycle through that bag 6 times with a bunch of dice rolls, and then you're going to assign those numbers to those colors. So what you see here, what I'm playing with, or what I'm demonstrating with here for today, is I've got the feral master sheet. So the shape-shifting ferals, the werewolves, the were-skunks, and whatnot. This is their master clan. So anytime purple is assigned to one of the dice, you get to copy that number over here for free. Because what we have in rounds 1 and 2 is you're going to get to pick 3 of these results to write onto your sheet. In rounds 3 and 4, you only get to pick 2 of them. And then in the final 5th and 6th rounds, you're only going to pick 1. But on top of those picks, you will always get to add in the number from anything that matches your clan's color. So on this sheet, you will see score sections for each of the other 5 clans. Same thing, so at this option here, what we're going to do, I'm just going to launch right into this. For free, I'm getting the purple 4. So how, and these all work the same on every game sheet. So my home clan is feral. So you must fill these in from top down. So the next time I get a purple number, it's going to go in that second slot. But right now I'm going to put a 4 in there. How this works is if the number that you write into that spot comes from that size of die. So this number 4 was a maximum roll on the 4-sided die. So there's a little icon here for D4s. If it came from that size die, you will also recruit one new little were person shape-changing animal to your clan, and you will fill in a little bubble on the side there. Each of those filled in are worth 2 points at the end of the game, as is every number you fill in this column. You'll add them all up at the end, and that'll be the sum total of the score. You'll also notice off to the right side there's a little special ability. So every time you fill in a space, you get access to that special ability. What this one is at some point in the future, which could be on my next dice picks or in an entirely different round, or hold on to it to the end of the game, I can take any one of those dice rolls and either add 1 to it or subtract 1 from it if you're looking for specific numbers. We'll see how that might be valuable in a moment. So that's what I do with that. That's my free pick. So now, this being the first round, I get 3 other dice to choose. So I can choose any of these colors that I want. I'm just, for simplicity's sake, going to probably go straight down. I'm just going to take this 1 from the D6. So how this top section works, regardless of its color, because again, all the sheets, the zones work exactly the same. There's just different colors assigned to them. So this is a blue mystic, so that that blue 1 can be filled into this zone. So you'll see this top zone, everything must be filled from left to right, and these first 5 sections have a specific number. So this number that you fill in there has to be 1 or higher. Well, this is a 1. Not a great result for this particular thing, but I'm going to do that. All right, just for demonstrations. Now, because it came from a D6, it did not come from the 4-sided die, so I do not get the extra little recruit for the blue mystic, and that's it. So if at the end of the game, all that I've done is fill in this one single lone spot here, it's worth 3 points. And I'd write in 3 in there and add in a recruit if I got them. But I didn't. So all there is 1 point. And whichever is the furthest one along in this line, so if you manage to fill in the entire thing, you will get 71 points. If you only fill up to this spot, you would get 31 points. Hopefully that's making sense. So the more of these you fill up, and they must go from left. So the next one I fill in has got to go in that second slot, and it's going to have to be higher than 2, then higher than 3, then equal to or higher than, equal to or higher than 3, 4, and 5. Then this section changes a little bit. Now it has to be equal to or lower than an 8, and 7, 5, 4, and 3. This is hard for me to read. I need my glasses because I'm getting old. Anyway, so that's how that top section works. This next section, right below it, how it works, and is on this particular sheet, on the feral sheet, it's assigned to the undead. Oh, well, look at that. My next one is undead. So I've got a 6 that I can assign somewhere in the undead zone. It's got 2 lines. Each must be filled from left to right. So I can either choose to put the 6 in there or the 6 in there. Now, whichever number I put there, the next one has to be higher than it. On this top row, everything has to be sequentially higher, whereas over here, they have to be sequentially lower. Now, a 6 is right in the middle, so it's not a great number for either of these. So you know what? We're going to leave that alone. But again, that's a D8, so if I were to fill in, if either of those were for a D8, but it's for a D4 and a D12, you'd get a recruit. So you know what? We'll come back to it. I don't think I'm going to pick that because it's not a great choice right now. So let's go over to the green because that's our next choice. The D10 rolled a maximum of a 10. So over here, see the side column, which on this sheet is the green Fey Folk clan. We've got a 10 from a D10. Now these can be filled in any order, as it reminds you here. So I don't have to go from top to bottom or left to right. You can fill in any box at any time. So there's a 10. I think I'm going to put it there because that comes from a D10. As you'll see on there. We're going to circle that. Fill in the number. So now these are all have to be matching pairs. So now in a future turn, I have to put a 10 there. And that's coming off of a D6. If I want that if I want to maximize that. So I did get it from a D10, so I get a little recruit. So a D6 obviously can't roll high enough to make a 10. And bonuses, which you only eventually have 2 of them, so the most I could add to them is +2. However, some of these other bonuses do allow you to add dice together, split a single die apart into 2 different results, change the color assigned to a die. So if you really wanted that 6 to be red, for example, if you had that ability, you could cross it off. It's usable once per game. Cross it off and change the color. But none of that's relevant right now, so hopefully at some point in the future I'm able to put a 10 there. Obviously a D10 and a D12 can roll that, so maybe I'll roll those naturally. I just won't get that extra little recruit bonus. So there we go. That was my second of 3 choices for the round. Because remember, the purple choice was free because I'm playing the purple ferals this game. There's nothing to fill in red because we did not draw a red meeple. So my last choice is the 12 for the Celestials. Now, how this section works is we've got to fill in each of these little paired sections from left to right. So I've got a 12 here, which I think I'm probably going to do here. And because it comes from a D12, so 12 on a D12 gives me a recruit. Fill that in a little better. So now, how these all work is you subtract the right side from the left side. So in the future, hopefully I'm going to put a 1 here. You can't reduce anything to a 0. The highest you can ever modify your dice to is a 14. The lowest is a 1. You can never do a 0. So what I'm hoping at some point in the future, ideally on a D4, I will roll. There will be a 1 on the D4 paired up with a yellow angel meeple. I'll put that there, so then 12 minus 1 is 11, and that'll be 11 times 2 points, so that would be worth 22 points, which would be awesome. That's how that works. Lastly, so that's good. So we've covered 4 of the 5 sections. All right, so now the game would continue. Put these back, set all those meeples aside, because we are going to roll all 5 dice. We are not in round 2, we are still in round 1, because the round will change when we empty out the bag of all those meeples. So we will cycle through all the colors evenly throughout the entire game. Ooh, oops. There was a 6. Oh, another 12. Holy cow. 5 on the D10, 3 on the D8, and 3 on the D4. Let's see what colors we get. For the D4, oh, it's feral again, so that's a free choice for me. The D6 this time is the yellow Celestials. Here's an Infernal for the D8. Oh, another Celestial this round on the D10. And the Fey Folk on the D12. Which maybe will be good. We'll see. Alright, so now we continue on. Again, my free choice. For free doesn't count as one of my 3 limited choices. I get for free the 3 there, but because it came off a D4, I do not get the little recruit bonus, but I do get access to the next ability on there, which is use a die as 1 size bigger or smaller. So if you're wanting to capture one of those recruit bonuses, you need a D6 to actually count as a D8, which I could right now. If I wanted to spend that, sure, why not? So what I really want is this 3, which came from a D4, to have come from a D6. So you know what? I'm just going to spend that right now, cross it off so I don't use it again in the future. So now I'm using this result as if it came from the D6. So then I get my little recruit bonus. So now we've recruited 2 little feral folk into the clan for their future benefit. Now, one thing to point out at this point in the game, it's in rounds 2, 4, and 6, we are going to, before the game continues, one of those meeples is going to be drawn from the bag and is going to be killed off and goes to the graveyard. Rest in peace. So what that means is that color will now only have 2 meeples in the bag to be drawn for the rest of the game. Or if the same color dies twice, they will only have the 1 remaining meeple. That also means that in those zones, whichever clans have dead meeples, their score is negative at the very end of the game. So everything else will be positive. So if the Celestial, let's say at the very end of the game, those are the 3 meeples that had been drawn and killed. So the Celestials would have a negative value to whatever their total score is in whatever their yellow zone is. But because there's 2 dead meeples, that would be negative times 2. And then the Infernals, the demons and the devils, would also have a negative score, but only be, so if this total were 57, let's say, their score would be negative 57. And if the angels had a positive 20 score, it's actually negative 20. And then because there's 2 dead of them, it would be negative 40 at the end of the game. One rule is you can never kill off all 3 meeples. So if that ever comes up, if you're playing this on your own at home, if the same color gets drawn a 3rd time, chuck it back in and draw a different one. But anyway, that's how this game will progress. So we'll see here, the last thing we'll do is I'm just going to choose the red 3 from the D8. So this final section we've got here, which on my sheet is the red Infernals, a 3 from a D8. Now these can be filled in any order because we're trying to fill in rows, columns, and that 1 diagonal. So every row and every column that gets filled in, you'll add together and then add all those sums together for the total from everything you filled in. So this is a 3 from a D8. So let's see here. Where's the D8? Right there. So you'll see a couple of the squares can either get the recruit bonus from a D12 and a D8. Maybe that's the only one. That is the only one. All the others have a single die attached to them. So right now, because I did pull this 3 off of a D8, cross that off, and I've recruited another devil to the Infernal Clan. And that's how this scores. So the right column side on this sheet, the Fey Folk, it'll be a different color and clan on the other 5 sheets, is every pair that you have completed. So if I were to get another 10 there at some point in the game, that would be 20 points would get added to the total, plus any of these others I filled out, plus anything down here. So right now, as it shows right now, that's just a 22. Let's say there's a 4 and a 6. Say I did that, so 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 would go there. All right, so that's a completed row. So if that's all we ever did in this game, the total would be 13 plus 2, which is 15. Over here, if this 1 Celestial got that 1 on it at some point, so 12 minus 1 is 11, and 11 times 2 is 22. That's hard to read. 22. And that's their score plus any recruits they made. So that would be a score of 24. How this section works, which on this sheet is the undead, you will take the sum of however far you got. So if you only had a 3 and a 4 and a 9 and a 6 and a 2 there. So 3 plus 4 is 7. So we've got 7 on that row, and down here we've got 9 plus 6 is 15, 16, 17. So 17 plus 7 is 24. Let's say you got no recruits, so your score there would be 24. And once again, the top row, it's just the furthest one you filled out, the number under it in the little star shape is your score. And then finally, your clan sheet, your actual home clan, the one you're playing and representing this game, you'll add up all those numbers, and in all likelihood, you will fill up that entire column. One thing to remember, that should you get your free purple result again and you've filled up all of these numbers, you can choose to get a free recruit, which is worth 2 points, or you can recircle any one of these special abilities to use it one more time. However, if there's any you have not used at the end of the game, each unused ability is also worth a point. So what you will do is add up all of that, and put your sum in there, and so your total clan score will go at the bottom there. Remember, some of them, if in this game, that's how the entire thing ended up. Whatever score was in the Infernals would be negative. Whatever score you got, right, actually that's over here, this would be negative, right? And whatever total score the Celestials got would be negative times 2. Everything else would be positive. So last thing to do when the game is complete, as always, you can pause this video, and as you're cogitating which numbers you want to use and write down, at the end of the game, if you want your results to count towards the ongoing total of which clan is in control currently of the city, of Bigbad City, the setting of the Human Flavor lit RPG novels. The first novel is currently out, Hungry Hungry Horrors, available on Amazon through the website Human Flavor. You can get signed copies, hardback copies, paperback, plus other little goodies and games that might come with it. If you order directly from the website, not Amazon obviously can't send you extra stuff, but I can if you order from me. So, last thing to do is if you want your results to count, in the description below, there is a section of text. Literally cut and paste it exactly as it is. Put it in the comments down below on this video and fill in your results. So in the cut and paste, you'll fill in the score for your ferals, your score for each of the other zones. Line blank is what we do is we've got software that'll read all those examples and collate them and put them into a big spreadsheet, and then we update the poster on the Human Flavor website, and you'll get to see how your score affected this week's dominance for each of the clans. So one thing to note is that you must get those results posted on here in the week following the date of the airing of the video. So we've got 7 days to post your scores on there, because at the end of that we'll be tabulating the scores, so any scores that get added afterwards won't count to anything. So it behooves you to play within the week that a video airs. You can also join us on Patreon, where there are additional roll and write games where you can actually create individual characters that will exist within the lexicon and the canon of Bigbad City. And it's possible when in the upcoming Human Flavor sequel novels, if and when I need characters for the background, maybe for a walk-on role, maybe somebody to just die, I'm going to be pulling those characters from the ones you guys create. But that's only available for Patreon customers. So hopefully this makes sense, and it should be straightforward enough that you can play along and play at your own speed. And we'll be seeing you in Bigbad City. Help the clans thrive. Cheers.